Assalamu alaikum. I ditched you guys? वालेकुम सलाम. ये टॉपिक समझ नहीं आता. Okay, if you're looking for concepts, then I'm afraid I'm not going to be going over the concepts, okay? I will be solving only past paper questions. Acha, I'm thinking about the answer for that. Why was the fraction worried about marrying the decimal? He was afraid he would convert. Is that the answer? Yeah, I was close. I'm good. How are you? Sir, can you stream APGP? I streamed. I did a stream for APGP last year. Because इसमें इतना ज़्यादा content नहीं है. There's not much to stream in APGP. So that's why. Vectors. I've done so many streams on vectors already. मैं थक गया हूँ topic पढ़ा के. In fact, I don't think I've left any question. Oh, I'm eating butterpuff. I love this biscuit. Butterpuff and tuck. No, I'm not eating vegetable. Yeah, I like that too. Why was the student upset when his teacher called him average? Let me guess, something to do with mean? Sir, can you tell the quadratic discriminants all cases? Okay. Oh yeah, I agree. Butterpuff and chai. Match made in heaven. And also tuck. But I don't know, the quality of tuck has gone down. Sometimes they're too salty. Sir, past paper live stream. Okay. Anyway, so let's start. Now, I haven't memorized all the jokes, it's just that they're too predictable. You're gonna have to do better than that, Rayan. What's your message? Sir, could you please do a theory session of functions? Functions. Okay, अब time इतना कम है. Functions, can I do function? Okay, चलो weekend पे कोशिश करते हैं. I'm doing trigonometric equations, I'm doing permutations and combinations, so then I'll do functions. Okay. Anyway, chalo, let's start. So here's binomial theorem. Now, binomial theorem mainly has like three concepts, okay? One is the expansion part, okay? How to expand. Achha, by the way, those of you who are watching, if you guys could just like the stream, as always, it would mean a lot. Okay. So as I was saying, there are three main concepts. One is the expansion, okay? You should know how to expand. The other is finding a certain coefficient of x, okay? Now that in itself has a lot of concepts. X could be in the first term, x could be in the second term, x could be in both the terms. You could be multiplying two brackets and then the question might ask you to find out the coefficient of x. Okay? Now if you want to learn the concepts, you can watch the AS P1 videos that I have. okay, for concepts. This is not a conceptual video. I'm not going to be going over the concepts. In this video, I will be solving past paper questions, okay? So we're going to try and solve as many past paper questions as possible. And you can learn the concepts through past paper questions as well, by the way. ठीक है, बस शर्त ये है कि आपको थोड़ी बहुत basics आनी चाहिए, okay? Yeah, so as I was saying, that was the second concept. The third concept is expanding without knowing the value of n, okay, where we use NCR. And then there is another concept, I think I said 3, but there are 4 concepts, and that is using binomial to determine the value of a certain, value. Okay, so you're going to have a decimal raised to a certain value, raised to a certain power, so we're going to use binomial to determine that. Okay, so one by one, let's start solving the questions. Okay, so we're going to start off easy and gradually increase the difficulty level. Okay, now this is a fairly easy question. Why? Because you have to actually no, wait a minute, it's not an easy question. Let's solve a question jisme simple C expansion ho na, where you just have to expand. Yeah, so let's solve this. So here it says find the first 4 terms in the expansion of so and so. So it's simple expansion, nothing too complicated, and you get 3 marks. Now remember the formula that we use. Acha, by the way, I've also uploaded the notes of binomial in the description. Okay, so you guys can download the notes from there, and I've also uploaded this unsolved copy, so you guys can download these past papers as well. Okay. Okay, now did I miss anything important? No, I don't think I did. Okay, so let's start. So NCR, a raised to the power n minus r and b raised to the power of r. Okay, so remember this formula. Or we start from 0 and we take it all the way to n. But because the question over here is asking us to find out just the first 4 terms, so we'll start with 0, nc0, 2 to the, sorry, not nc0 actually, 6c0, 2 to the power of 6, x to the power of 0. 2 to the power of 6, x to the power of 0. Okay, then we increase the value of r by 1, so 6c1, 2 raised to the power 6 minus 1, x to the power 1. Then 6c2, 2 raised to the power of 4, x to the power of 2. Then 6c3, 2 to the power of 3, x to the power of 3. Now since we wanted the first 4 terms, that's it. These are the first 4 terms. Now first we'll write them horizontally, and then in the end we can write our answer vertically. So 2 to the power, 6c0 is going to be 1, x bar 0 is going to be 1, so we don't have to worry about, the only thing we have to worry about is 2 to the power 6, which is 64. Okay, then we have 6c1, which is 6, into 2 to the power 5, which is 32, into x. So what's that going to be equal to? 6 into 32 is equal to 192x. And then 6c2 is equal to what? इसको अब मैं directly कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है? To save some time, I'm just working this out directly, okay? So this is equal to 240x square, and then 6c3 into 2 to the power of 3, and then x cubed, so that's 160x cube, okay? So then we give our final answer, 64 plus 192x plus 240x square plus 160x cube. Okay, so this is what we have. Then it says find the coefficient of x cube. Okay, so this is where things will get complicated, where you'll have to find the coefficient of x cube. Now this will only get complicated this will get complicated only if you allow things to get complicated. Okay, so you have to find out the coefficient of x cube. Okay, and you have to find out the coefficient of x cube in the expansion of so and so. So first thing you want to do is you want to expand as much as you can. Okay, so this is something that you can expand without having to use binomial. In fact, it's simple. 2 linear expressions will be multiplied to get a quadratic expression. So 1 into 1 is 1. 1 minus x will be minus x. Okay, then plus 3x minus 3x square. So here's what we have. We have 1 plus 2x minus 3x square. ठीक है, अब आपने यहाँ पे ज़रा थोड़ा दिमाग इस्तेमाल करना है. ठीक है, रट्टे नहीं लगाने. You need to use your brain. Okay, दिमाग दिया है अल्लाह ने, तो उसको ज़रा सही से इस्तेमाल करें. ठीक है, and avoid just memorizing without understanding how things work. Okay, now did I miss anything important, sir? I have to study for accounts. Okay, I'm afraid, I know you guys have accounting tomorrow, but time come hai. That's why I had to stream this today. Okay, some students requested for this as well. Okay, so remember, eyes on the prize. What's the prize? The prize is x cubed. Okay, so that's what we are after. We're going to multiply all the terms that can give us x cubed. Okay, so here's 1. Now think about it. What should I multiply 1 with so that I get x cubed? There's no point in multiplying 1 with 64 or with 192x or with 240x squared. So straight away, we're going to multiply 1 with 160x cubed. Okay, so what do we get? We get 160x cubed. Okay, now let's talk about 2x. What should we multiply 2x with so that we get x cubed? We multiply it with 240x squared. Why? Because x and x squared multiplied together will make x cubed. So what's 2 into 240? That's equal to 480x cubed. And then what should you multiply minus 3x squared with so that you get x cubed? Minus 3x squared needs to be multiplied by 192x. So let's see, what do we get? Minus 3 into 192 will definitely be minus. So let's write that at the beginning. Minus 3 into 192 is equal to minus 576x cubed. Okay, so let's simplify this. Let's see, what do we get? 160 plus 480 minus 576. So what do we get? We get 64. So 64x cubed is the answer. And the final answer, in fact, is going to be 64, which is the correct answer. Okay, now please don't try and look for easy ways out. Okay, don't try and look for an easy way out कि मैं याद कर लेता हूँ या याद कर लेती हूँ कि ऐसा होगा तो ऐसा करेंगे, ऐसा होगा तो ऐसा करेंगे. ठीक है, वो कभी काम नहीं करेगा. Just figure it out there and then that what are the terms that you should multiply to get the required power of x. Okay, and that's it. You don't have to worry about memorizing stuff. The answer is minus 656. No, it's not. So how do we know how much to expand in such question? इसके लिए हमें एक बहुत मुश्किल काम करना पड़ता है, which most of us hate to do, and that is read the question. Okay, so if you read the question, which I know a lot of us don't, you'll find the answer to your question. Okay. Now, here is question number 8. Achha, let me see if I should solve this question. Like I said, let's go step by step. Okay, चलो अब एक इससे मिलता जुलता question solve करते हैं. Alright. So here's a question which says find and simplify the first 3 terms of the expansion in ascending powers of x, 1 minus 4x to the power of 5. Achha, someone asked here, I forgot to answer that question, that can we write it horizontally? Yeah, you can. You can write it horizontally as well. Okay. You will get the same answer. So here also, how will we know कि हमें कितना expand करना है? By reading the question. Okay. So 1 minus 4x to the power 5. So we'll start expanding this. 5c0, 1 to the power 5 minus 4x to the power 0. Alright. We'll figure this out later on. 5c1, 1 to the power of 4 minus 4x to the power of 1. 5c2, 1 to the power of 3 minus 4x to the power of 2. Okay. Basically, instead of writing it like this vertically, the way that I write it, you write it with a plus minus sign. Okay. So if the first term is 1, then no matter what you do, it's always going to be 1 in the expansion. 5c1, okay, so this I better work out. So 5c1 is 5. 5 into minus 4 is going to be minus 20x. Okay. Then 5c2 is 10 into 16. So that's going to be 160x squared. Now remember this, whenever you have a minus sign in between, so the pattern is plus minus. Okay. So 1 minus 20x plus 160x squared. So the question said first 3 terms. So here are the first 3 terms. Okay. All right. Now the question says the first 3 terms. Now this is a complicated question. Okay. The first 3 terms in the expansion of so and so, in the expansion of 1 minus 4x to the power 5 plus 1 plus ax plus bx square are, so that means equal to 1 minus 23x plus 222x square. Now notice that we have up until x square. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply all the terms that give us up until x square. Anything more than that, we don't need it. Okay. So since we've already expanded 1 minus 4x to the power 5, We've already expanded it till x square, so let's write down the expanded version, which is 1 minus 20x plus 160x squared. And what are we multiplying this with? We're multiplying this with 1 plus ax plus b x squared. Okay, now remember, up until x square is what we're going to expand. So this 1 here, 1 will multiply with 1. So what do we get? We get 1. The same 1 gets multiplied. 1 gets multiplied by everything else. So 1 plus ax plus bx square. Okay. Then let's talk about this minus 20 over here. So this minus 20, actually this is not minus 20x square, it's minus 20x. Okay. So this minus 20x gets multiplied by 1. So we have minus 20x. And the same minus 20x gets multiplied by ax. So we have minus 20a x square. Now should I or should I not multiply the minus 20x with bx square? Okay. Answer this question with a logical explanation. And in the meantime, I'm multiplying 160 into 1. 160x squared into 1, which gives me 160x squared. ठीक है, तो मेरे सवाल का जवाब कौन देगा? Identity, what identity are you talking about? Are you talking about that Pascal's triangle? Walaikum salam. Yes, Anjali, I fixed it. It's 20x. Nope, we're not going to multiply the 2 because that's going to give us x cubed. Okay, good job. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to write this nicely. Okay, so we'll write it in a way that we have x first, so 1 plus ax minus 20x. And then we're going to write down all the squares. So we have bx square, we have 160x square, and we have minus 20a x square. Okay, now let's take x common so we can scrape off the coefficient of x, and here let's take x square common so we can scrape off the coefficient of x square. So b plus 160 minus 20a x square. Now according to the question, all of this was equal to what? All of this was equal to 1 minus 23x plus 222 x square. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to compare the coefficients. So a minus 20 is the coefficient of x. In our expansion, in actual terms, it's equal to minus 23. So that means a minus 20 is equal to minus 23. So a is equals to minus 23 plus 20, which means that a is equals to minus 3. So there you go. That's the correct answer. Okay, then let's talk about the coefficient of x square, which for us is b plus 160 minus 20a. And according to the question, it should be 222. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to plug in a as minus 3. So this becomes plus 6 because minus 2 into minus 3 is plus 6. So b is equals to 160 plus 6 and 222 minus answer. So we're looking at... okay. Wait a minute. We are looking at okay, sorry about that. So can you guys hear me now? All right, now I think it's fine now. So a is equal to minus 3. Okay. Achha, I figured out the error that I made is actually what 20a, not 2a. So b plus 160 minus 20 into minus 3, and this is equal to 222. Okay. So yep, you're right. So b plus 160 plus 60 is actually equal to 222. So if you work this out, 220 minus 160 minus 60, so that's equal to 2. Okay. Sorry about that, and thank you for pointing that out. Actually, light चली गई थी. Now, let's do another question. Okay. And this is a question which is slightly different from your normal question. Okay. So it says find the first 4 terms in the expansion of so and so in ascending powers of x. Okay. Okay. So first 4 terms. So again, how do we know how many terms we have to expand? किसने पूछा था बेचारा पूछ के शर्मा रहा होगा कि मैंने क्या पूछ लिया. 6c0 2 to the power 6 x squared to the power 0, that's the first term. 6c1 2 to the power 5 x squared to the power of 1. Then 6c2 2 to the power of 4 x cubed to the power of 2. So that's the third term. Then the fourth term, which is 6c3 2 to the power of 3. Okay, sorry Hashir, I'm gonna pick on you for a while now. Acha, it's x squared, not x cubed. Okay, now, so the first term is going to be 2 to the power 6, which is going to be 64. Okay, then 6c1 into 2 to the power 5, so that's 192. Okay, so let's write that down. 192 positive. Okay, and notice that this is not going to be 192x, it's actually going to be 192x square. Okay, it's going to be 192x square. Okay, and then you have 6c2 2 to the power 4 into x square square. So x की क्या power होगी? Let's first settle that. The power on x will be x power 4, and then for the next expansion, the power on x will be x to the power of 6. So 6c2 into 2 to the power 4, so that's going to be 240. And then 6c3 into 2 to the power of 3, so that's going to be 160. So this is what we end up with. 164 plus 192x plus 240 plus 160 x to the power 6. Okay, now let's write this down. Let's write it nicely. 64 plus 192x square plus 240 x to the power 4 plus 160 x to the power 6. Okay, then it says find the term independent of x. Okay, what does that mean, independent of x? Independent of x का क्या मतलब है? कौन बताएगा? A square minus 2ab plus b square. Mariam, that identity is only for a plus b the whole thing square. How will you use that for to the power 5 or to the power 6? Unless, of course, you're planning to break it down into power 2, 2 and 1, or maybe like that, which I will not at all recommend. Okay, I will not at all recommend that you do that. Okay, yeah, so without x, that's what it means. Good job. Okay, so notice that the question has made us already expand this. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to expand this. Now this I'm going to expand on the side, for which we will have to use the identity. So 1 minus 2 into 1 into 3 upon x square plus 3 upon x square, the whole thing square. Okay, remember that when you're already using the minus sign over here, you don't put another minus with b. Okay, so this becomes 1 minus 6 upon x square plus 9 upon x to the power of 4. So that means this is what we are multiplying with this. Okay, these are the two expressions that we are multiplying. Again, now think about it. What are the terms that we should multiply so that we get the constant term or the term independent of x? Okay, so this 64 gets multiplied by 1 and 1 only. Okay, what about this 192 x square? So this 192 x square will be multiplied by minus 6 upon x square. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. 192 into minus 6. So देखो हमारे पास क्या आ रहा है? हमारे पास ये आ रहा है minus 1152 x square upon x square, and we can see x square and x square will eventually cancel out. How you expanded the second term? Okay, the second expression I expanded using the identity. That's what I did. I used the identity over here. ओके तो मैं साइड पे कर देता हूँ. देखो 1 माइनस 3 अपॉन एक्स स्क्वायर होल स्क्वायर को मैंने आइडेंटिटी यूज़ करके एक्सपेंड किया. 1 स्क्वायर माइनस 2 इंटू 1 इंटू 3 अपॉन एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस 3 upon x square whole square. Okay, so I use the identity. That's how I got what I got. Okay, now then we were talking about what terms we should multiply. So what should I multiply 240x to the power 4 with? Well, it's a no-brainer. This needs to be multiplied by 9 upon x to the power 4. So why is that? Because when you do 240 into 9, you get 2160 x power 4 upon x power 4, and you can see x power 4 and x power 4 will cancel out. So 64 minus 1152 plus 2160 is equal to 1072, and that is the correct answer. There you go. That's it. Easy peasy. Okay, we'll do this question not right now, but let me highlight this question. ये question करने में भी मज़ा आएगा. Easy. So let's do this question. In fact, wait a minute. First, let's do questions where we have to find out. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. So this is a question where you have to find out a specific coefficient of x. Okay. Now there are three cases, like I said. One is when x is in the first term, the other is when x is in the second term, and the third is when x is in both the terms. Now, like I said, I've uploaded notes of binomial. Do check it out. इसमें मैंने सब कुछ लिखा हुआ है. That what do you need to do? What do you need to do when x is in the first term? What do you need to do when x is in the second term? What do you need to do when x is in both the terms? Okay. So here, since x is in the second term, what we're going to do is we're going to take the value of r the same as the coefficient or the power on x. So what's the value of r? R is equal to 3, so that's what we're going to take as r. Okay. तो बेटा आप भी कुछ खा लें. So 7, आपको भूख लग रही है तो आप भी कुछ खा लें भाई. 7c3 1 to the power 7 minus 3 is 4 minus 2x to the power 3. Okay, and you can see that this will end up giving you the coefficient of x cube. So 7c3 is 35 into minus 8 x cube. So 35 into minus 8 gives you minus 280 x cube. So the final answer is going to be minus 280. ठीक है. अच्छा, अब मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि जो लोग दिमाग नहीं इस्तेमाल करेंगे वो पार्ट 2 में क्या करेंगे. ओके, इसको मैं ट्रांसलेट भी कर देता हूँ. So now I'll show you what people who don't use their brain are going to do in part 2. Okay, so this is what they're going to do in part 2. They'll say, okay, the question is very nice in the sense that it has made us already find out the coefficient of x cube. Okay, so now all we have to do is just multiply 3 with the coefficient of x cube, and we will end up with the coefficient of x cube as that's what the question is asking for. Okay, so 280 and minus 280 into 3, and they'll say minus 840 is the final answer, and they'll move on to the next question. Okay, now obviously that's wrong, but why is that wrong? Yes, class-based calculator is allowed. Okay. Sir, just as you share the maths, but I shared that after math P1. Okay, add maths में कोई pattern नहीं है. Okay, add maths में कोई pattern नहीं है. The two papers are to divide the syllabus. All right, so just keep preparing. Okay, so why is this wrong? 3 marks का question 2 step keep working. Okay, so that's not the case. Okay, yes, Hashir, you're right. So I think I'm gonna forgive you for saying that, what you said earlier, because x square भी होगा. ठीक है. So obviously in this expansion you will not only have the coefficient of x cube, but you'll also have the coefficient of x square. So when x square gets multiplied by 4x, you will have again x cube. Okay, so that is why this is completely wrong. I mean, not completely wrong, but leaving it over here and saying this as your final answer is wrong. Okay, now so here's what we're gonna do. 1 minus 2x to the power 7. We already know what the coefficient of x cube is. Okay, we know that the coefficient of x cube is minus 280. But now we're also going to find out the coefficient of x square. Okay, so how will I find out the coefficient of x square? 7c2, 1 to the power 7 minus 2 is 5, and minus 2x to the power of 2. Okay, so let's do let's do that. So 7c2 into 1 to the power 5, well, that's just going to be 1, into minus 2 squared, so that's 4, so that means 84x squared. Okay, so now we know what we're multiplying 3 plus 4x with. We're multiplying 3 plus 4x with 84x square and minus 280x cube. Okay, इसके notes description में हैं. Okay, इसके notes description में हैं. Now 3 gets multiplied by minus 280, so that gives us minus 840x cube. And the 4x, now we know what 4 is getting multiplied with. Like I said, gets multiplied by 84, which gives you 336. So minus x cube, don't forget the x cube. So minus 840 plus 336 gives you minus 504 x cube as your final answer. So minus 504 is what we end up with. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you can take food inside. Abhi, we were having this discussion during math as well. So food is not allowed. Water is allowed apparently. Okay, good job, Xavier. Good job, Xavier. Who else gave the correct answer? There was someone else who gave the correct answer as well. Oh no, it was you, Xavier. Wow. Okay, now here it says find the term independent of x. Okay. So in order to find the term independent of x, again remember our objective is to somehow find out the value of r. When it's like a single expansion, it's not getting multiplied by anything. Haseeb, ye please aap ulti seedhi khabrein na phailaएं. Okay. So our objective is to find out the value of r. Okay. Now, so we expand without knowing the value of r. 6cr x raised to the power 6 minus r and 3 upon x square raised to the power of r. Now we ignore everything that has got nothing to do with r. Okay, so we ignore 6cr. Okay, and we ignore this 3 and we focus on the x. So x to the power 6 minus r. Okay, and what about this? This gets multiplied by x to the power minus 2 into r. Now what happened over here? How did this become minus 2? Who can explain that to me while I simplify this further? And what do we want this to be equal to, by the way? We want this to be equal to independent of x, which means we want it to be equal to x to the power of 0. So this becomes x to the power 6 minus 3r, which is equal to x to the power 0. So we cancel this out. 6 minus 3r equals to 0, which means 3r equals to 6, which means r is equals to 2. Yep, that's correct. We took the reciprocal. And that's how we ended up with what we ended up with. Okay, so r equals to 2. Now remember, that's not the end of the question. We're now going to plug in this value of r to find out the term that's independent of x. So 6 minus 2 is 4 and 3 upon x squared to the power of 2. So 6c2 is 30 into x bar 4 into 9 upon x bar 4. So you can see x bar 4 getting cancelled. And what is 30 into 9? 30 into 9 is... Okay, let me see. I think मैंने कोई calculation error तो नहीं किया. 6c2. Acha, that's 15. Should have used a calculator. 15 into 9, that's 135. Yeah, that's correct. 135 is the term that's independent of x. मैंने गलती से 6p2 कर दिया instead of 6c2. Anyway, so there you go. That's it. That's your answer. Yeah, I certainly hope they don't come in the washroom with you. Why did I cut? Okay, मैंने नहीं काटा, खुद ही कट गया. Okay. That's because x bar 4 divided by x bar 4 will just cancel out. And you'll have 0 as your answer. Okay? You'll have x bar 0 basically. अमीर हमजा, आई एम अफ्रेड कॉन्सेप्ट के लिए आपको या तो नोट से काम चला लो, या मैंने कहा मेरी जो ए लेवल्स वाली वीडियो है ना, वॉच दैट विल कम इन हैंडी फॉर कॉन्सेप्ट्स. ओके, okay, so you guys want to do a really difficult question now? Okay, like an extremely difficult question. All right, I hope you guys are ready. So here we go. Okay, now for this you need to know how to expand. I'm eating butterpuff. You need to know how to expand NCR without using a calculator. Okay, because if you don't know what the value of n is, then your calculator is not going to help you. Okay, and I hope you guys know how to do that. Because if you don't, then I would suggest you watch the concept wali video of AS Math and then learn that concept from there. Or you can look at the notes. Alright. Halat phir kharab ho rahe? Really? What's happening? 6 wala you left. 6 wala I left? Yeah, so we'll do this. We'll do this as well. Chalo, don't worry about it. So let's do this first. Okay. Okay. Now here's question number 12. In the expansion of 1 plus 2x to the power n, the coefficient of x bar 4 is 10 times the coefficient of x squared. Okay. So basically that means we're looking for the coefficient of x bar 4 and we're looking for the coefficient of x squared. Okay. Now 1 plus 2x to the power of n. Now if you want the coefficient of x bar 4, what's the value of r going to be? R is going to be equal to 4. Okay. So that means nc4. Now you'll expand it like you would normally, okay, and you let n be as it is, and 2x to the power of 4, okay. And then as far as the coefficient of x squared is concerned, for the coefficient of x squared, what's r equal to? R is going to be equal to 2, okay. So that means nc2, 1 to the power n minus 2 and 2x to the power of 2, okay. Now nc4, the question is how do we expand nc4? Okay, well the way to expand nc4 is this: n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3 divided by 4 factorial. That means 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, and 1 to the power n minus 4, that we can just conveniently ignore, because we don't have to worry about what will happen to 1 if you raise it to the, it's 1 raised to any power will always be 1, into 16x to the power 4. Okay, now if we just scrape off the coefficient, this is what the coefficient is. Okay, now if you want to simplify it, of course we will simplify it. Okay, so 4 1s are 4, 4 4s are 16, 4 और फिर हम simplify कर लेते हैं 2 से, 2 1s are 2 2s are. So this is what we end up with. We end up with 2 into n minus 1. So this 2 gets multiplied now. Okay, 2n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3. Now if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to simplify and leave that for the end, you can leave that for the end as well. Okay, so 2n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3 divided by 3. Don't forget that you still have the 3 intact in the denominator. Okay, now this is the coefficient of x bar 4. Now let's simplify the coefficient of x power 2. इसको simplify करेंगे, so it's going to be n into n minus 1 divided by 2 factorial, which is just as good as 2. Alright, so we'll write 2 over here, and again you can ignore 1 to the power n minus 2, it's because it's not going to make any difference, multiplied by 4x square. So इसको भी simplify कर लो, so 4 2 1s are 2 2s are. So now this is what you have: 2n into n minus 1 as far as the coefficient is concerned. Okay. Now, according to the question, the coefficient of x power 4 is 10 times the coefficient of x square. So that means the coefficient of x power 4 is 10 times the coefficient of x square. Okay. Now, Heather, I have a different way of expanding this. So if you watch the conceptual video, you learn how to expand this. Okay. मैं इसको वो normal regular तरीके से नहीं expand करता, मैं इसको different तरीके से मैंने इसकी expansion सिखाई है. ठीक है. Okay. भाई एक दफ़ा पूछ लो ना क्या. Okay, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, so the coefficient of x power 4, like the question says, is 10 times the coefficient of x square. All right. Now what we're gonna do is, now we're gonna simplify. Okay. So 2n and 2n gets cancelled out. N minus 1 and n minus 1 gets cancelled out. Now here's what we have. In the numerator, n into n is n square. N into minus 3 is minus 3n. Minus 2 into n is minus 2n. Plus 6 or 3 or 10 को multiply कर लो. So what's that equal to? That's equal to 30. Okay. Now let's get every term on the left hand side. So n square minus 5n. 6 minus 30 is minus 24 equals to 0. Okay. And now n square minus 8n plus 3n minus 24 equals to 0. N into n minus 8 plus 3 into n minus 8 equals to 0, which means n plus 3 into n minus 8 equals to 0, which means that n equals to minus 3 and the same n equals to 8. Now the question must have said that it's positive or something. Yeah, it says find the value of the positive integer. So in the end, we're going to give n equals to 8. Okay, बताएं मज़ा आया? Okay, Asib, I'll do some questions with x in the first term. फरहीन, ये वाला कॉन्सेप्ट बेटा इसके लिए कॉन्सेप्ट वाली वीडियो जाके देख लो. ठीक है. Like I said, in today's class I want to do just past paper questions. Okay. इसकी जाके वो देख लो. A level की जो वो वीडियोस है ना, बाइनोमियल की प्लेलिस्ट देख लो, उससे समझ आ जाएगा. Difficult नहीं था? Okay. So how about I give you guys a question to solve? Yes, I have uploaded all notes. Okay, just check the description of the group. You'll find the notes there. You'll find notes as well as unsolved. This worksheet unsolved. Yeah, lengthy to tha, of course. 6 mark binomial question, you can expect it to be lengthy. Okay, now let's do another question. Alright, let's solve this. This is from May June 2016, paper 2, variant 1. So it says use binomial theorem to expand a plus b to the power 4, giving each term in its simplest form. Okay, now a plus b to the power 4 को expand करना है आपने. So we start with 4c0, a to the power 4, b to the power 0, then 4c1, a to the power 3, b to the power 1, then 4c2, a to the power 2, b to the power 2, then 4c3, a to the power 1, b to the power 3, and then finally 4c4, a to the power 0, b to the power of 4. Okay. Now, notes for all AdMath topic. Okay, I don't have all the notes for AdMath topic. I have selective topics, and जो भी हैं वो मैंने stream के साथ upload किए हुए. Okay. So this is what this becomes: 4a cube b, and then 4c2 is what? 4 into 3, 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Yeah, 6. A square b square. Okay. And then 4c3 will be 4 ab cube, and then in the end we'll have b power 4. Now let's write this nicely. A power 4 plus 4a cube b plus 6 a square b plus 4 ab cube plus b to the power 4. Okay, remember altogether you should have the number of terms should be one more than the power. So if the power is 4, the number of terms should be 5, which they are. Okay, Then it says hence find. Now why did the question feel the need to use the word hence? I mean, where did that come from? Where did the word hence come from? Okay, light आ गई है. Yep, the word hence came from basically use the previous working. Yeah, that's why they've used the word hence. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to use our previous working. Okay. Now, since we've already expanded this, if you can anticipate, okay, what are the terms that we need to multiply that will give us the term that's independent of x. Okay, so that would save you a lot of time. Now if you can't do that, that's fine. Okay, if you can't do that, that's perfectly all right, but let me tell you how you can do that. So basically, here's what we're going to do. Notice that you have the same power over here. Okay, you have power 4, and here also you have two terms. So technically a is equal to 2x and b is equals to 1 upon 5x. So that means whatever power we have on a, we should have the same power on b as well. Okay, whatever power we have on a, we should have the same power on b as well. Why? That is because in that case, whatever the power on x is in the numerator, we'll have the same power of x on x in the denominator, and the two will cancel out. Okay, अब यहाँ से एक ऐसा एक्सप्रेशन ढूंढते हैं जिसमें a और b पे दोनों पे सेम पावर है. a power 4, that's not going to work. Why? Because that means 2x to the power 4. It's not going to work. 4a cube b, that means 4 into 2x to the power 3 into 1 upon 5x. Not going to work. What about this? 6a square b square. Now this will work. Why? Because 6, when you multiply it by 2x square, and then when you multiply it by 1 upon 5x whole square, then here's what happens. You have 6 into 4x square into 1 upon 25x square. Now because the power on both is the same, what happens as a result is that x square and x square gets cancelled out, and now you have 6 into 4, which is 24 upon 25 as your final answer. तो थोड़ा यहाँ पे दिमाग इस्तेमाल करना था. I hope you guys didn't give up so easily. I am based in Karachi, but I teach online entirely. Okay. Okay, that's not the N word, that's the name of a school. Okay, now here's part B. Part B says the coefficient of x cube in the expansion of so and so equals 5n upon. चलो, I'll give you guys a few minutes to solve this. ठीक है, मैं आप लोगों को 2 minute दे रहा हूँ. 2 minute नहीं चलना, 3 marks, right? So I'll give you guys 3 minutes to try and solve this, and I'm just gonna grab some water. Okay. ओके, क्या जवाब निकाला आप लोगों ने? 6. Okay. 6 is, let me see if that's okay. Oh, 6 is the correct answer. Good job. 6 is in fact the correct answer. Yeah, I teach at Nixer O levels, but this year will be my last year with them. No, I don't teach in Nixer College. I teach in Nixer School, Nixer O levels. Okay, now 6 is the correct answer. Should I solve it? So let me just solve it. Okay. So it says coefficient of x cube. Coefficient of x cube means what? Coefficient of x cube means that r has to be equal to 3. Okay. Why? Because x is in the second term. So that's what we're going to do. NC3 1 to the power n minus 3. Okay. And then x upon 2 to the power of 3. Alright. And this, according to the question, is equal to what? Chalo, we'll talk about that later. 5n upon 12 को बाद में लिखेंगे. Now n into n minus 1 into n minus 2, 1 to the power n minus 3 can be ignored, into x cube, which is also something that we're going to ignore. By the way, nc3 will also have 3 into 2 into 1 underneath it. And we have x cube upon 8. Okay. So now this is what? This is equal to 5n upon 12. Now without x cube. Okay, remember we're only interested in the coefficient. So n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 over 3 into 2. Yeah, in fact, let's not simplify this. We'll do that later. 3 into 2 into 1 into 8. हाथ के हाथ लिख लेते हैं यहाँ पे. Equals to 5n upon 12. Okay. So we cross out the n and n first of all. Okay. Then we cross out. We start crossing out. We start simplifying basically. So 3 1s are, 3 4s are. Okay. 2 1s are, 2 2s are. Okay. And then 2 4s are and 2 1s are. Okay. ये पूरा cancel हो गया आपका. Okay. And now here's what we have. We have n minus 1 into n minus 2, and in the denominator we're just left with 4, and this is equal to what? This is equal to 5. Okay. Now let's multiply. So we have n square minus 2n minus n plus 2, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 20. So that means n square minus 3n minus 18 is equal to 0. Now if you solve this, you have n equals to 6 and you have n equals to minus 3. Now obviously we're going to go with the positive value, which is 6. Okay. Okay, currently I'm teaching at Nixer. I think I've already answered that. Will you come in the meet on 14 June? What's on 14 June? I might come to one of the centers when you guys have your ad math exam. Maybe after paper 1. Or maybe after the math exam. Let me know what centers आप लोगों के क्या centers हैं. एक center के आगे से तो मैं almost every day गुजरता हूँ when I'm going to Nixer. No, I'm not in India. I'm in Pakistan. Lahore. Okay, I can't come to Lahore when I'm based in Karachi. I can't do that. So how did x cube cancel? Okay, x cube didn't cancel. It's just that we ignored it because we were only looking for the coefficient of x cube. Okay, since we were only looking for the coefficient of x cube, that's why we ignored it. Which city? I'm in Karachi. So I've answered that. X cube didn't get cancelled. Remember, we're only talking about the coefficient, so we're not gonna bring x cube along. St. Michael's. Okay, now that's too far away from where I am. I can come to what's this? I can either go to Cedar. Cedar is close to my house. Okay. Then there is Ramada. Okay, that's close to my house. And what else? Daps. The one that's opposite Creek Vista. Yeah. That's also close to my house. Okay, let's see. Now here's another difficult question. You guys want to do this? No, there's no way I'm going to Beacon House PCHS. It's too far away. Binomial questions usually are standalone. You might find like a what do you call? You might find a permutation combination question as a follow-up. Ballroom? What's that? I think that's where the exams are held. Aisa? Khair, anyway. So let's solve this question. It says the first three terms in the expansion of so and so are 81 plus ax plus bx square. Find the value of each of the constants n, a, and b. Okay, so let's do that. Let's start by the first term, which means nc0, 3 to the power of n, and minus x upon 6 to the power of 0. Then the next term, which means nc1, 3 to the power n minus 1, and minus x upon 6 to the power of 1. And then nc2, 3 to the power n minus 2 into minus x upon 6 to the power of 2. Okay. Now nc0 is going to be 1. Everything's going to be 1 except for 3 power n. So we let 3 power n be as it is. Okay. Now what about nc1? nc1 is going to be n multiplied by 3 to the power n minus 1 into minus x upon 6. Okay, we'll simplify this in a minute. Acha. Then we have nc2, which means n into n minus 1 upon 2 into 3 to the power n minus 2 into x square upon 36. So if you want to simplify it, that's great. Even if you don't want to simplify it, that's also perfectly all right. You know why? Because you know very well that when you expand it, this will be 81, this will be ax, and this will be bx square. So using 3 power n equals to 81, what we can now do is we can now find out the value of n. Okay, and that's what I intend to do. 3 power n is equals to 3 to the power 4 is 81, I believe. Yeah, so n gets 3 gets cancelled out, not cancelled out, 3 gets ignored basically, and n is equals to 4. So if n is equals to 4, now we can find out pretty much everything else. Okay, so if we go back and we plug in 4 now, okay, so 4 into 3 to the power 4 minus 1 into minus x upon 6. So let's simplify this. See what do we get? 4 into 3 cube divide by 6. So we're looking at 18x minus 18x. So this is the coefficient of x. And now as far as the coefficient of x square is concerned, so 4 into 4 minus 1, which is 3, upon 2 into 3 to the power 4 minus 2, that's 2, okay, into x square upon 36. So simplify this. Let's see what do we get. 4 into 3 into 3 square divide by 36 divide by 2. So we get 3 upon 2 x square. Okay. Now let's see what do we have. Let's see what the answer is. Just a minute. मैं जरा इसका answer देख लूँ. Make sure that I've done it correctly. Yeah, it's correct. So basically, this turns out to be A is equal to minus 18. It's a bit messy, but I hope you guys can understand. A is minus 18 and B is equals to 3 upon 2. ठीक है, and n तो हम पहले ही बता चुके थे. N is equals to 4. So there you go, fellas. That's your answer. So what do you think would be a safe amount of marks to get at least an A? 65 and above. You should definitely be aiming for 65 and above. Okay. Okay, now. Alright, it's your lucky days, Javier. Acha, there's one question which I said is really difficult. What do you say? We do that? Okay, so we'll take a namaz break in 5 minutes. Okay, we will take a namaz break, but we'll take a namaz break in 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so let's solve this and then we'll take a break. So it says given that n is a positive integer, so keep that in mind. Find the first three terms. So first three terms ka matlab nc0, 1 to the power n minus 0, which is n, and then half x to the power of 0. So that's the first term. Then the next term is going to be nc1, 1 to the power n minus 1. अब ये 1 एवं बार बार आता है बीच में, इससे होना तो कुछ है नहीं, ठीक है. So might as well not write it. या इनफैक्ट एक काम करते हैं, इतने लिख लिए तो एक और भी लिख ही लेते हैं. तरस आ गया मुझे बेचारे पे. Okay, so here are the first three terms. Now let's write them nicely. nc0 is going to be 1, irrespective of what the value of n is. Okay, 1 to the power of n again doesn't matter because it's going to be 1. So the first term is going to be 1 irrespective. The next term, however, is going to be n into half x. So we'll write this nicely. It's going to be half nx. And then the next term, nc2, is going to be n into n minus 1 upon 2 into, again, we're going to ignore 1 power n minus 2, into 1 upon 4x squared. So this is equal to n into n minus 1 upon 2 into 4, which is 8x squared. So here's what we get. We get 1 plus half nx plus n into n minus 1 upon 8x squared. Okay. Now, then it says, given that the coefficient of x squared in the expansion of so-and-so. So in the expansion of this, and I'm going to write down the expanded version of 1 plus half x to the power n. So that's going to be 1 plus half nx plus n into n minus 1 upon 8 x squared. Okay. Now, according to the question, the coefficient of x squared is equal to what? Is equals to 25 upon 4. Okay. Now, we're only talking about the coefficient of x squared. Okay. Keep that in mind. So that means I'm only going to multiply the terms that give me x squared. Everything else I'll just ignore. So what do I multiply 1 with? I multiply 1 with this. So n into n minus 1 upon 8 x squared. And what do I multiply the minus x with? This is what the minus x gets multiplied with. So this becomes minus 1 upon 2 and x squared. And this, according to the question, is equals to what? 25 upon 4 x squared. अब x square को हम काम करते हैं क्योंकि since we're only interested in coefficient, we'll just ignore x square. So we have n into n minus 1 upon 8 minus half n, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 25 upon 4. All right. So here is what we're going to do now. We're going to take the LCM. So that's 8. N into n minus 1. This gets multiplied by 4. This also gets multiplied by 4. So we have minus 4n, which is equal to 25 upon 4. Okay. So 4 1s are, 4 2s are. Now you expand this, n square minus n minus 4n. 2 को multiply कर दो 25 से, so that's equal to 50. That means n square minus 5n minus 50 equals to 0. Now you solve this. Let's see, what do we get? We get 1 minus 5 minus 50. So n equals to 10. All right. And the other value of n equals to minus 5. So the value of n that we go with is 10. N equals to 10. There you go. That's your answer. So what do you guys think? चलो नमाज ब्रेक लेते हैं, फिर वापस आके let's just do a few more complicated questions and we'll leave it there. Okay, like I said, let's take a namaz break. So how long should the break be? What time is it? It's 7:18, right? So let's say from 7:20 to 7:30. Chalega? Good enough? Yeah, I am expecting the paper to be difficult this time. If whether it is or it isn't, well, that is for you guys to find out, but I'm expecting the paper will be difficult. But if the paper is difficult, the good news is the threshold will be low. Okay, anyway, so we'll pick this up later on. All right, see you guys in 10 minutes. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Okay, so I'm back. Let's start. Let's start with, not let's start, let's resume. Yeah. So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do difficult questions or easy questions? Tips for distinction in add math. Just don't do anything wrong. Difficult questions? Okay, that's what I thought. Alright, वैसे to be honest with you guys, whatever the difficult questions were, we've already done it. So let's do this. This is a good 8-mark question, and it's not that old either. It's from October-November 2019. Okay. Now, binomial questions are lengthy questions. They're not all difficult questions. Okay. So this question says the first 4 terms in the expansion of so-and-so are so-and-so, where a and b are integers. Show that 3a squared minus 16a plus 21 equals to 0, and hence find the values of a, b, and c. Okay. Now, so 1 plus ax to the power 5. Now remember, we only have to expand up until x cube. Okay, so eyes on the prize. 5c0, 1 to the power 5, ax to the power 0. And then 5c1, 1 to the power of 4, ax to the power of 1. 5c2, 1 to the power 5 minus 2, which is 3, and ax to the power of 2. Okay, then the last term, not the last term of the expansion, but the coefficient of x cube basically. So the first term is going to be 1. Okay, the next term is going to be 5ax. Okay, and then no, yeah, we haven't done this. Okay, and then 5c2, what's 5c2? Let's figure that out. 5c2, that's 10. Okay, so this is going to be 10 a square x square. All right, and then 5c3, which I think is also 10. Yeah, a cube x cube. Okay, now let's write this nicely. So 1 plus 5ax plus 10 a square x square plus 10 a cube x cube. Okay, now what is this getting multiplied with? This is getting multiplied with 2 plus bx. Okay, now remember, we're only going to multiply the terms that give us up until x cube. Anything more than that, we're going to ignore. Okay, so this 1 gets multiplied by 2 here. So 1 getting multiplied by 2 is equals to 2, plus the same 1 will get multiplied by bx. So we have 2 plus bx. Then this 5 gets multiplied by, again, both the terms. So we have 10ax, and then 5 when you multiply it by b. So you will have 5ab x square. Okay, now as far as 10a square x square goes, that gets multiplied by both as well. So we have 10a square x square times 2. So that's going to be 20 a square x square plus 10 a square b x cube. Okay, so 10 I've multiplied by both. So a square b x cube. Now whenever you have so much working, it's always a good idea to check your answer as you go along, like I'm doing right now. 20 a square x square. Okay. Then as far as 10 a cube x cube goes, that only gets multiplied by 2. So that gives us 20 a cube x cube. Okay, now let's write down all the terms in ascending powers of x. So we have, in fact, they're already in ascending powers of x. Okay, great. So let's take x common over here. So 2 plus b into 10a. So this is the coefficient of x. Then let's take x square common. So we have 5ab plus 20a square. This is the coefficient of x square. Then we have 10 a square b plus 20a cube, and this is the coefficient of x cube. Okay, let me make sure I've done it correctly. 10a square b, yeah, that's correct, plus 20a cube x cube, yeah, plus 20a cube. Okay, now according to the question, इसकी जो expansion आनी थी वो आनी थी 2 plus 32 x plus 210 x square plus cx cube. Okay, now 2 equals to 2, that really doesn't help, but at least we know b plus 10a equals to 32, so this is the first equation. Okay, the other equation that we have is 5ab plus 20a square, which is equal to 210. So remember, we're comparing the coefficients. Okay, so this is the second equation. Now what I'm going to do with the second equation is, before we start solving simultaneously, is that I'm going to simplify it. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5 to make life easy. So we have ab plus 4a square, okay, equals to 210 divided by 5. So 210 divided by 5 is 42. Okay, so this is the second equation. Now notice that our equation is in terms of a only, so I'm going to use this, make b the subject. So b is equals to 32 minus 10a, and I'm going to plug this in over here. So a gets multiplied by 32 minus 10a plus 4a square equals to 42. Okay, so that means 32a minus 10a square. Yeah, I was going to ask that question. What exactly is SMCS? Minus 10a square plus 4a square equals to 42. So we have minus 6a square. I think we're on the right track. Yeah, minus 6a square plus 32a minus 42 equals to 0. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take minus 3 common. In fact, I can't take minus 3 common, so I'm going to take minus 2 common. And we have 3a square minus 16a plus 21 equals to 0. Is that the answer? Yep, that's the answer. So there you go, 3a square minus 16a plus 21. अब आपने ज़्यादा excited नहीं हो जाना कि सवाल ख़त्म. Okay, now we're going to solve this equation, this quadratic equation, to find out the value of a. Okay, now if you solve this, so you have a is equals to 3 and you have a is equals to 7 upon 3. Now since a, does the question say anything about a where a, b and c are integers? Okay, so the question says a, b and c are integers, so that means a can only be equal to 3. Okay, so a can't be equal to 7 upon 3. So if a is equals to 3, that means we can now find out the value of b comfortably. 32 minus 10 into 3, so 32 minus 30, which means 2. Okay, ये b की value आ गई. Now how do I get the value of c? Notice that c is equals to 10 a square b plus 20 a cube. So c is equals to 10 into the value of a, which is 3, into the value of b, which is 2, okay, plus 20 into 3 cubed. So this will give us the value of c. So 10 into 3 into 2, 10 into 3 into 2 is 60. 60 plus 3 cube is 270. 270 into 20, so 5,400. So 5460 is the value of c. Now let's check the answer and see if that's correct. So what are your thoughts about this question? अच्छा interesting सवाल था ना? अच्छा, wait a minute. C is equals to, okay, ten a square into b. Just a minute. C की value सही नहीं है. 10 a square into b plus 20 a cube. Okay, calculation error हो गया. C is equals to 180 plus 20a cube, so 20 into 27, so that's 540. So 540 plus 180 is equals to 720. There you go. That is the correct answer. Okay, now sir, solve this question. It's a 9 marker, October November 2022. No, 5580 is not the correct answer. 720 is the correct answer. I fixed it now. Inverse of trigonometric function? What do you mean? Take sine inverse, cos inverse of it? Depending on the function, take the inverse. Okay, चलो ये क्वेश्चन करते हैं, फिर विल कॉल इट ऑफ. ठीक है. काइनेमैटिक्स, इतने सारे टॉपिक्स हैं. काइनेमैटिक्स भी है, इंटीग्रेशन भी है. काइनेमैटिक्स पे क्योंकि मैं ऑलरेडी बना चुका हूँ, तो आई डोंट थिंक आई विल बी स्ट्रीमिंग ऑन काइनेमैटिक्स. लेट्स सी टाइम कम है. काफ़ी सारे इंटीग्रेशन पे स्ट्रीम करनी है, ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक इक्वेशंस पे स्ट्रीम करनी है. काइनेमैटिक्स पे भी चलो कर ही लेंगे. परम्यूटेशंस कॉम्बिनेशंस पे स्ट्रीम करनी है. ठीक है, लेट्स सी. आई विल बी स्ट्रीमिंग वन टॉपिक और द अदर एवरी डे. If it's kinematics, then that's great. Okay, so find the first three terms in this expansion. So 5c0. Now this is, notice that it says in descending powers of x. So naturally our answer is going to be in descending powers of x. So 5c0, 2x square to the power of 5 and minus 1 upon 3x to the power of 0. So that's the first term. Then 5c1, 2x square to the power 5 minus 1, which is 4, minus 1 upon 3x to the power of 1. And then 5c2, 2x squared to the power of 3 minus 1 upon 3x to the power of 2. Okay, so the first term is going to be 1 into 2 to the power 5 is 32, and then the power on x is going to be 10. Okay, then you will have minus, let's evaluate it over here, 5 into 16 x to the power of 4 into minus 1 upon 3x. So this becomes x to the power of 8, sorry, yeah, x to the power of 8. So this becomes 5 into 16 is 80, so 80 upon 3 x to the power of 7. Okay, and then this 5c2 is 10, 10 into 4 x to the power of 6 into 1 upon 9x square. So 10 into 4 is 40. Okay, and 40x to the power 40 upon 9 x to the power of 4. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, and there you go. That's your answer. Now let's see what the next part says. The next part says hence. Okay, again we have the word hence, which means that you now have to use the expansion above. Okay, hence find the coefficient of x power 7 in the expansion of so and so. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we find out the coefficient of x power 7? Notice that we have to multiply 3 plus 1 upon x cube with the expansion of this, 32x to the power of 10 minus 80 upon 3 x to the power of 7 plus 40 upon 9 x to the power of 4. So this 3 gets multiplied by this. So we now have minus 240 upon 3 x to the power of 7, and then this 1 upon 3 gets multiplied by this. So we now have 32 x to the power of 10 upon x cube. So minus 240 upon 3 will be minus 80x to the power of 7 plus 32x to the power of 7. So that's equal to minus 48x to the power of 7. And then when we're giving our final answer, we say minus 48. So there you go. Minus 48 हमारा final answer. Okay, now okay, the 9 marker, which one is that? That is October November 2022 paper 12. Okay, let me see if I have that. अगर होगा तो सही है. If I don't, then well, too bad. Khair, I'm pretty sure I have it, don't worry about it. Question number. Okay, you're right. Whoops, ये कहाँ से आ गया? Okay, now let's solve this. So yes, it's a 9-mark question, but that doesn't mean it's difficult. Okay, it's a 9-mark question, but that doesn't mean it's difficult. It's lengthy, yes, but I don't think it's difficult. Here, let's see. The first 3 terms in descending powers of x, so and so, can be written as fine. So ax plus 2 upon 5, let's focus on this, to the power of 5. Let's take out the first 3 terms. Okay, so if you take out the first 3 terms, this is what you get. You get 5c0 ax to the power of 5. Okay, 2 upon 5 to the power of 0. Okay, and then 5c1 ax to the power of 4, 2 upon 5 to the power of 1. And then 5c2 ax to the power of 3, 2 upon 5 to the power of 2. So 5c0 is 1, 2 to the power 5 to the power 2 upon 5 to the power 0 is also 1. So technically we're just left with a power 5 x to the power of 5. Okay. Acha. Then you have 5c1, which is 5, into a power 4 x power 4 into 2 upon 5. So this 5 and this 5 gets cancelled. And now you're looking at 2a power 4 x power 4. Okay, then you have 5c2, which is 10. Okay, so 5c2 is 10. 10 into a cube into x cube into 4 upon 25. So let's simplify this. 5 5s are 5 2s are. So here we have 8 upon 5 a cube x cube. Okay, so far so good, I hope. A power 5 x power 5 plus 2 a to the power 4 x to the power 4 plus 8 upon 5 a cube x cube. ठीक है, इसको ज़रा डबल चेक कर लेते हैं. 5c0, alright, that's 1. A power 5 x power 5. 5c1 is 5. A power 4 x power 4 into 2 upon 5. Okay, and then 5c2 is 10 into a cube x cube into 4 upon 25. So 10 into 4 is 40. 40 upon 25. Let me double check that. Yep, 8 upon 5. Okay, now this is getting multiplied by, now let's talk about the expansion of this. 1 minus b upon x, the whole thing square. इसकी expansion क्या होगी? 1 minus 2b upon x plus b upon x whole square. Again, I've used the identity over here. Okay, so this becomes 1 minus 2b upon x plus b square upon x square. So that means these are the two expressions that are getting multiplied. 1 minus 2b upon x plus b square upon x square. Now remember, you only want the coefficient of, you only want up until the coefficient of x cube. Everything else is irrelevant. Okay, so let's see what we're going to multiply 5 with. So 5 here gets, what we're going to multiply a power 5 x power 5 with. So this gets multiplied by 1. Now let me switch to a different color. Yeah, इसको हम 1 से multiply करेंगे. ठीक है, इसको 1 से multiply करेंगे तो हो जाएगा a power 5 x power 5. This also gets multiplied by minus 2b upon x. So this becomes minus 2 a power 5 b, and then x power 4, because x power 5 divided by x becomes x power 4. Okay, and then this also gets multiplied by this. So it becomes positive a power 5 b square x to the power of 5 minus 3. So that's going to be x cube. Okay. Okay, now then let's talk about this 2a power 4. Again, this also gets multiplied by 1. So that's going to be 2a power 4 x power 4. This also gets multiplied by minus 2b upon x. So we have minus 4b x cube. Why? Because x power 4 upon x becomes x cube. And then that's it. We're not going to multiply this any further. Okay. And then as far as this 8a cube x cube is concerned, this gets multiplied by 1. So we have 8 upon 5 a cube x cube. ठीक है, अच्छा अब एक काम करते हैं. Let's write this nicely. Okay, let's arrange it in descending powers of x. So a power 5 into x power 5. Then let's talk about all the x power 4s that we have. So we have 2a power 4 x power 4 minus 2a power 5b x power 4. So ye ho gaya, ye ho gaya, ye ho gaya. Now we're only left with x power cube. So a power 5 b square x cube minus 4 bx cube plus 8 upon 5 a cube x cube. Okay. So there you go. मज़ा आ रहा है आप लोगों को? And this is equal to what? This is equal to 32 minus 160 x to the power 4. 32x power 5, sorry. 32x power 5 minus 160 x to the power of 4 plus cx cube. Okay. So let's start by finding out the value of a. So a power 5 is the coefficient of x power 5 and 32 is the coefficient of x power 5. So a power 5 equals to what? A power 5 equals to 32, which means a is equals to what? A is equals to 2. Why? Because if you take the fifth root of 32, you have 2. ठीक है, great. A की value आ गई. Now let's talk about b. So in order to find out the value of b, we're going to make use of the coefficient of x power 4, which means 2a power 4 minus 2a power 5 into b. Okay, and that is equal to what? That is equal to minus 160. So 2 into 2 power 4 is 16 minus 2 into a power 5, which is 32b, which is minus 160. So let's see, what do we have? 32 minus 64b is equals to minus 160. So minus 160 minus 32 is minus 192. So minus 64b equals to minus 192. This gets cancelled out. B is equals to 3, I believe. Yeah, b is equals to 3. Okay, so we're almost there. Now the coefficient of x cube is equal to c. So a power 5 b square minus 4b plus 8 upon 5 a cube equals to c. Okay, so a power 5 we know is 32. B square we can work out is going to be 9 minus 4b, so that means minus 4 into 3 plus 8 upon 5 into a cube, which means 8 upon 5 into 8. This is equal to what? This is equal to c. Okay, now does it say that a, b and c are integers? No, it doesn't. अच्छा, c की value क्या आ रही है? मैं check कर लूँ. ठीक है, सही है. Okay. So 32 into 9, I'm just going to work this out directly in a calculator. Okay, plus 64. I made a mistake? Where? Yeah, I think I did. I think it's with the coefficient of x cube that I made a mistake. Tero, let me check. 2, 4. Okay, yeah. There was supposed to be 4a power 4 here as well. Okay, 4a power 4. Let me check if it's correct now. 4a power this, when you multiply it by this, so this becomes 4a power 4b x cube. हाँ ठीक है, अब सही है. Okay, so let me fix that. अब सही है. ठहरो, मैं इसको ज़रा डबल चेक कर लूँ. हाँ, 4a पावर 4b. ठीक है, सॉरी अबाउट दैट. इसको मैं दोबारा ही कर लेता हूँ. ओके, सो बेसिकली नाउ a power 5 b square minus 4a power 4 b plus 8 upon 5 a cube equals to c. Okay, so a power 5 is 32, b squared is going to be 9, minus 4 a power 4 is going to be 16, b is going to be 3, plus 8 upon 5 a cube, which means 8. This is equal to c. Okay, so let's see, what do we get? 32 into 9, so that's 288, minus 4 into 16 into 3, so that's 192, plus 64 upon 5. So let's see if this is the correct answer. Plus 64 upon 5. Yep, that's correct. C is equals to 544 upon 5. And this, I believe, is the correct answer. So, there you go. मज़ा आया? चलो मैं एक काम करता हूँ, मैं इसको भी उसी PDF के साथ लगा के अपलोड कर देता हूँ. ठीक है, I'll attach it at the very end. And there you go. Okay. So let's stop here, I guess. Let's call it a day. And we'll pick this up, inshallah, in the next class. कल मैं stream कर रहा हूँ. What am I streaming tomorrow? Trigonometric, yes. I'm streaming trigonometric equations. Okay. So, and for math, I'm streaming mensuration. Mensuration at 4, trigonometric equations at 6, inshallah. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good luck. Those of you who have their exam tomorrow. Allah Hafiz. इसके notes download कर लीजिएगा, notes, and I'll upload the solution as well. Okay, I'll just upload the solution.